This video is going to be on the Pittsburgh auto body and fender set. It is a set of tools that you can use to knock out dents in an automobile. Now, before I show you what comes in the kit, let me show you what other items I used on my project. Vice grips and channel locks for bending materials. I used a wood block 2x4 to get inside the car door and knock out some of the dents. I know it's not the right way to do it. You're supposed to do hammer on, hammer off, or dolly on, dolly off, but that was the only way I could remove my dents. I've got this, which I was using to reach inside the door to use it to hammer on the dolly when I wasn't able to access anything. I've got rulers that I use to put on the door panel to measure the roundness. I've got crowbars that I used because I needed to do some bending, and I've got a soft, well, it's kind of a hard mallet and a hammer, and then ear protection. Most important thing, ear protection. This is what comes inside the kit. You get different shapes of hammers. You get 3 different hammers. I've mainly used this one. Haven't used this one. You get dollies. I've used this a little bit. The dolly that I used the most was this. This has been the one that I've used for probably 90% of the work. And then this, I wasn't able to get it into the door that much, but I did use it. And this, I wasn't able to get this to reach inside the door that well, but I used it also. So let me show you what the project is. Now, I'm not an expert. This is a car door of my mom's car, and she wanted it fixed, and we didn't want to spend $1,300 to put a new door on here, get it painted, and nobody wanted to take out the dents. So she was turning out of a parking lot, hit a bumper of a parked truck, and the whole thing caved in. Caved in right over here, all the way in there. Bent this lip back, and the most damage was in here. But I've only got one photograph, I believe, that I'm going to show in the video of the before. Now, I'll admit, this is not smooth. It's definitely not smooth, and I was pounding on the inside, pounding from the inside out, which is not the way to do it, but there was really no way to reach inside with a dolly, put enough pressure on here, and do the hammer off or hammer on. So, when you look closely, you can see imperfections. I'm not finished with the job. But before, this whole thing was caved in to the point that you could walk by and the door looked terrible. This is the last section that I'm going to be working on. I don't know how much I'll be able to fix it, but that's where the molding was that I took off. The whole point is that the kit cost about $30, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of complaints, a lot of rude comments saying it looks terrible, but it actually looks 1,000% better than what it used to. It's kind of dented in here. The door was misaligned a little bit, and yeah, you can see a lot of the bumps where I hammered from the inside and originally I was thinking sand this thing down, put some body filler in here, get some paint and paint it. And now that I look at the result, even though I know it's bumpy and it's not perfectly clean, it's a 20-something-year-old car, and I'm able to move my hand over there now and it's kind of smooth. It's a little bumpy in areas. Paint's chipped a little bit over there. But for the most part, it's so much better than what it used to be like, and it's really not worth investing $1,300 in an old vehicle. So for, well, like I think it's $30, $40 for this Pittsburgh set, I got my money's worth. And the goal wasn't to make it look like new. The goal was to make it look better than what it did after it got in the accident. This is why it was so difficult to work on. There's really not a lot of room. There is enough room to get in here, but most of the damage is in this little compartment here that I can't get into. And that was, even though it's not the best way, I was using this 2x4 to knock out some of the dents. Again, planning to do filler and painting, which I'm not going to do now. Mostly what I did is I just used my finger in here and I felt for the ridges and the bumps, and they're all over the place, and I knocked them out the best I could by using this and trying to get some shape back to the door. I ran into a lot of problems with this cross piece over here. I wasn't able to reach in here well, and that's where something like this came in handy. A little bit of rebarb, and I was able to put the dolly in here and press on the dolly with this and then hammer onto this. So as far as this part of the door, there's next to no room, and I'm right-handed, so I really was not able to hammer in there well or reach into some of these downward sections. The door was damaged enough where even with a pry bar, I couldn't get it to spring back in place. Heat didn't work, cold didn't work. The only way I was able to make this work was to hammer out. This is like a 20-something-year-old car, and it's got not a thick door like the old cars, but thicker than the material nowadays. And it was really difficult to hammer this thing outward. So I don't even know where I left off because a neighbor stopped by to say hi. So I just wanted to finish off this review by saying, for the amount of money that you spend on this thing, it's worth it. You get some good quality tools. I know they're not the best. I'm sure a person who does this for a living wouldn't be using these items, but if you're a home person and you just want to knock out some dents, this thing works really good. All of the tools work really good. This is my favorite. And you get your money's worth, good quality material, and you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. Again, you're not going to get, unless you do this for a living, like all jobs, unless you do it for a living or you've got a lot of experience or practice, you're going to have problems. You're not going to get an expert job, but that's why I bought this. I wasn't expecting an expert job. I was just expecting to save some time and money and make the car look a little bit better. So my review, yes, it's definitely worth the money. And leave your comments if you want. Don't be rude, or I'll block them. And thumbs up, subscribe, like. If you want to help me out, I would appreciate going to my channel page, click on the support button, and leave a donation if you want to.